Hey everyone, Chris here with more stories in cardboard. I started watching sports in 1977, and since then I've seen a lot of changes and innovations in sports over the years. So today I want to talk about a historical innovation in pro football, but one that also had a profound effect on all of sports. The architect of this innovation, or as a Sports Illustrated article once called him, the Rembrandt of the Rams, is this man. Los Angeles Rams player Fred Gehrke. This is a 1948 Bowman card. It's card number 33, which makes it a short print. All 1948 Bowman cards that are divisible by 3 are short prints. And the short print cards, if you collect this set, you know they're getting tougher and tougher to find, especially in high grade. They get really pricey when you start wanting to get them and collect them in high grade. But anyway, this man here, Fred Gehrke, he played in the NFL from 1940 until 1950. He was an art major at the University of Utah when he was in college, and he always thought that the old style football helmets were kind of dull looking. So at the end of the 1947 season, he suggested to his coach, Bob Snyder, that they needed a design on their football helmets. Snyder basically told him, well, go home, paint a prototype of it and bring it back and let's see what it looks like. So Gehrke did that. He took a helmet home. He painted it dark blue, and then he added the yellow that you're always familiar with these days, the yellow ram horns on the helmet. He brought it back to Coach Snyder, and they presented it to the Rams owner, Dan Reeves, at the time. Reeves loved the way that it looked, and then he actually commissioned Gehrke to paint 75 helmets that summer. He got paid a whopping $1 per helmet. $1, which is crazy to even think about. But one thing I do want to show, I do have this old photo here. See if I can show it without the glare too much. This photo is actually from 1946, and it shows Bob Waterfield of the Rams. And as you can see, he's got that old style helmet that's just kind of plain. And then I also have this photo, which is from 1948. This is a game between the Los Angeles Rams and the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Rams player is Les Horvath, and then the Eagles player is Pete Pijos. And they're playing in the Los Angeles Coliseum, but you can see where Horvath has the new painted Rams helmet on. What's interesting is that Gehrke actually beat out Horvath and Tom Harmon for the starting running back position on the Rams. And both of those players were former Heisman Trophy winners. So I think that's kind of interesting. But the Rams would unveil this new design during their first exhibition game at home in the Coliseum in 1948. And the crowd gave them a raucous 5-minute standing ovation when they came onto the field. A few years later, the Colts would be the second team to put a logo on their helmet with the now familiar horseshoe. Now, I believe this innovation kind of spawned the mass merchandising that you see for teams today. Where they put their logos on shirts, cups, all these different things that you could put a logo on. And I think that's really significant when you think about how important some of these iconic sport logos have become today. Now, the helmet logo isn't the only innovation that Gehrke was known for. In 1946, after breaking his nose 4 times in football games, he invented and used the first face mask. He also invented and patented the kicking nets that you see on the sidelines these days that the kickers use to practice their kicks on. He actually invented that and patented that as well. Now, after football, sometime in the 1960s, he became the general manager and eventually the vice president of the Denver Broncos. And now, he also has one more interesting fact about him. He has a famous grandson. Not a grandson, but a great-grandson. And that would be Christian Yelich of the Milwaukee Brewers. That is, Christian Yelich is the great-grandson of Fred Gehrke. Gehrke was recognized and honored by the Hall of Fame in 1972 with the first ever Dan Reeves Memorial Pioneer Award. So again, this is just another example of how you can see a card that just sort of looks like an ordinary card, not much to it, but when you really dig into it, sometimes it has a different story to tell. I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and until we see you next time, take care.